Hey, good morning. It's Lady Flava, and just wanted to do my normal, 9 a.m. video that I do on Mondays, but I didn't feel good yesterday. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, like I was going to come down with a cold or something. I've been going and going a lot this past weekend, and lately, going out and supporting great Vegas entertainment and all of that. And I think that the cold, now that it's getting cold here in Vegas, it kind of caught up with me. So I was feeling a little bit under the weather yesterday, and I hung out in bed. I took Theraflu the night before and yesterday morning, and I feel pretty good. So I went out last night, supported Bobby Rose and friends, and that's always fun. So anyway, I wanted to do my Facebook Live because I really want to do it at least once a week and try to do it every Monday. So good morning. I do say Ambus, Harvey, and then Susan Jones. Blessings from over the pond, and good morning, Luis. So anyway, I was going back and forth on what I wanted to talk about this morning, and it was like, do I go kind of down a more personal path in how I think and feel as Susan and Lady Flava about my life, about myself, or do I talk about something that's industry related? And I think I'm going to go down a path of being a little bit more personal, and let you see into how I think and feel, my experiences, and maybe it'll help you understand me a little bit more and who I am and why I do what I do. Good morning, Wolf Local. So anyway, I'm somebody who's very, very passionate in servicing, other people. I knew as a young person that I wanted to be in a position where I helped, people that were facing life challenges, people that needed to see their worth, people that needed a cheerleader. I knew this really young. I knew it probably when I was about 12 years old. And at that point, I really wanted to become a youth counselor. And then when I was in high school, I really wanted to go into social work. And stuff. And so, my story is that I'm Japanese and German. My father's a Baptist minister. My mother's German. They face many, many life challenges, except that I wasn't raised where there was any type of challenge in their mindset as a couple and as people, but they faced, challenges in the era of when they came up as being an interracial couple. Good morning, Darnell. Did you see I posted some of your pictures over in the UTAE group? Amazing, amazing, my friend. Anyway, so my parents bought a home when I was a baby in the Black community of Seattle, and it was kind of like right on the border. So to the right of us was, a Black community, predominantly Black, going south, and then it was white going north. But the schools that I went to were predominantly Black, and my neighbors, my friends, my godmom, everybody were Black, are Black. And so that's why you see so much of the community that I'm affiliated with, associated with, and friends with, and family on social media are Black, right? It's how I was raised. It was just something that I fell into, and it's my life, and it's my comfort zone. I do recognize the fact that because of my skin color, and that some people think that I'm something other than white. They don't necessarily guess that I'm half Japanese or Asian. Or some people just think I'm white, and I realize that I, can maneuver out there in different circles and, receive what is considered white privilege. So I do recognize that. It's even been to the point that some of the people in the industry that I've worked with in the arts and entertainment industry have approached me and said, Flava, would you, be the spokesperson or the, be the person that approaches certain people because they'll work with somebody and listen to somebody who looks like you. And I recognize that too. It's kind of sad that it's that way. It bothers me at points, but I recognize it is a reality. Good morning, Terry. So I've lived a very interesting life, being of the complexion that I am, to the community that I was raised around, to the community that I choose to be around. And I didn't realize that when I moved to Vegas that, a lot of what I experienced in my 56 and a half years in Seattle wouldn't necessarily be so transferable down here in Vegas. And I've experienced some interesting and challenging things in interacting with people in the entertainment community down here. And as much as it's very, very similar, it's different. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I just always knew that I wanted to be a support person to other people. And when the opportunity, I guess I could say, or challenge, or whatever, however it really came about, that I built Flava Coffee House and in 2003, and knew that I wanted to service a community that was not being really recognized for the diversity of the community. And so I wanted Flava Coffee House to be a place that would embrace the diversity of the community, embrace arts, and just be a comfort zone and a place that people wanted to come, chill, have coffee, hang out, listen to some good music, and experience the art of Seattle. And then the beautiful thing is that it went beyond Seattle, of the arts that I supported. So I know that I'm repeating myself, just depending on who listens to my videos. Good morning, Cecil. That I started at, Lady Flava was birthed at Flava's Coffee House, of course, but my brand really started as becoming a reviewer of African American literature. And I, at that point, maybe 2006, when it came to the literary part, was I actually was accepted to be a part of a black review team, and being the only non-black on the team. So that was really interesting. It was such a growth process. And then it turned around that the authors just started sending me their books directly. And, that's how Flava Coffee House News Reviews came about. Good morning, Sharif. And so, that's where my passion, good morning, Leon. That's where my passion came, to being involved with the arts community. I always loved literature. I always loved music. Good morning, Promise. But, I never really thought, I never dreamed that I would end up being involved with the arts and entertainment community, But Flava Coffee House is where all the magic started, I started selling jewelry and books and CDs and hip-hop, rap music, graphics, paintings on my wall. I had the most amazing mural that was painted behind my stage at Flava Coffee House by one of my daughter's girlfriends, and it was phenomenal. And we had open mics, Flava's Night of Creative Expression, every Friday. The place could have maybe 12 people, or it could be standing room only. When I hosted a literary conference out of my coffee house in 2008, it was beyond standing room only. People were outside. I believe we had a canopy outside too. And people were outside the door because it was too packed for them to even get in, but they still hung out outside, which was awesome. 2004 was my first music event. In a sense, I was part of a group that put on a jazz cruise. So we had a jazz ship that we used, and had a jazz band and vocalists on the main floor, catered food in, amazing DJ on the top floor. It was beautiful. We lost money on it, but it was a beautiful event, and everybody that was there had an amazing, amazing time. You'll see on my wall that I was a part of a hip-hop festival in 2010 called Dope Emporium. That was exciting for me. And that's due to my business partner, JC Cage, who I've been working with, hip-hop soul group duo out of Seattle. I've been working with them since 2009, so that was amazing to be a part of a hip-hop festival. I ran my radio show out of there, interviewed a lot of the hip-hop artists and the people that, were coming and going from there. And just, it was so well put together. The talents were absolutely amazing, graffiti artists, B-boys, B-girls, rappers. It was amazing to be a part of that. I was a part of hosting a hip-hop show with 3 other, artists out of Seattle, and that was an interesting challenge that just told me and taught me so much was put into place. Everything was on point, and it was a success to a point, and then but the numbers didn't come out. So that was a challenge, to how to debrief and process that. Then I've always been a part of different events in Seattle, but honestly, a lot of it was around hip hop. Good morning, Cece. And so, that's just, Seattle was my passion base, of how I got involved with this. In 2009, I became a radio show host with my business partner, LA, at that time. Thanks to Dwayne out in Maryland with Soul City Radio. He talked me into getting on the air, and I loved it. It was all about supporting independent music. I was on the air up until I moved here to Vegas, and there's some talks right now, and I may be back on the air probably, I'm going to say, by the first of the year. And so... I started planning and dreaming about Flava's Lounge back in Seattle, maybe about 2016, maybe 2015, but I think definitely after my daddy had passed. I didn't really know, no, it must have been 2015, because I started talking to my dad about it, and I talked to him about, potentially moving to Vegas. And he gave his blessings for that. So Flava's Lounge started the process about 2015. I didn't realize it went back that far. And the whole concept is creating a platform for independent artists to be able to be showcased and paid to perform. One of the things that bothers me is the industry not really getting behind independent music. There's some absolutely great talents out there that deserve to be supported. I get why Vegas supports the classics, the cover songs. I get it that you want people to come out and be familiar with the music that they're going to hear. But, at the same time, there's great music being created beyond the mainstream artists, beyond the old school music. That really deserves a platform to be recognized also. And it's like, once upon a time, those people that created those songs that are now known as cover songs or the classics, it was new music, right? It was new music at that time and in that, era of when it was created. So I want you to really think about, exploring and getting out there there's great independent music being created, and you can meet them right here on social media, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram. Go check out Spotify, Reverb Nation. I'm assuming people still use Reverb Nation. I hate to admit I haven't been over to our Marlex Records Reverb Nation in a while, so I should go over there and check that out, right? But there's some great original independent music that's being created. And, if we were to get behind these great talents now, guess what? Maybe someday their music would turn into being cover songs or considered classics, right? There's new music being created, and there's more artists that deserve to be out there and be supported, and so I want you to think about that. That's my passion. So, kind of going back to, being a person that knew from a young age that I wanted to be in service to other people. When Flava Coffee House was built and created, God just put it in me that, Susan, you're meant to work with creative souls. And it came together so naturally, so comfortably, and my passion was birthed, So moving here to Vegas, I have these big dreams and goals of what I want to do, and it's all going to come together. So I found this venue back in June of where I wanted to host Flava's Lounge. I got so dang excited. I took my business partner Mark there. I even took Lou from In Demand there to check it out. Was so very, very excited. Good morning, Kevin. And so I was so very, very excited about this venue, and it just seemed perfect. And I think maybe in a sense I had some tunnel vision because it fit my personality. I love the owner of the venue. I love the way this venue looks because it's not one of those just normal type of rooms that it has one type of look. It's a place that has layered looks, So there's a stage area, there's a lower area, there's a comfort area, there's a dance area, a beautiful long bar, and everything. Serves amazing food and everything. So anyway, I just said, this is the spot. This is the spot. I started the process. I wrote up the business plan. I presented it to the owner. He accepted, and then it came down to needing to come up with a deposit. So there's where the struggle came in. It's always about money that the struggle comes in. And I think that we have to also recognize that so much comes down to having money to put together what it is that you really want that can really leave that lasting impression on people. I don't like to hear, especially like independent artists, I don't even like to hear in the entertainers say, they're working with what they got. I get it because I do that too, but I think we always need to be working towards taking things to the next level. And a lot of what's holding us back is not having that money to take things to the next level, to really present ourselves in the best light. So I have an on-call job here in Vegas, and when I work, it is amazing money. It is good money, and but all of a sudden, as soon as I got the okay for this venue, I haven't had work. And I was like, okay, so what do I need to do? Because I've got to come up with some money to finalize the contract of this particular location. And so it was like, and I still am employed, but my boss just has not had work for me. So then I got a private client, which is awesome because I love doing elder care. So my on-call job is I'm a healthcare sitter. Sometimes I do some security, for my boss. And then I have an elder care client that I work with, an amazing 90-year-old man. But that's not enough income to build, what it is that I need to do. It's enough I make enough money from what I do to take care of myself, to stay in this condo and, and all that, take care of my living expenses. But I'm trying to build a dream, right? So the other challenge about Vegas is that it's not like independent artists, the entertainers, is that back home being Lady Flava, I had paying clients to, to work with that paid me for the work that I would do for them. Whether it was making flyers, whether it was doing consultation work, whether it was creating EPKs, writing bios, press releases, I had paying clients. And down here, that's not so easy to come by. Good morning, Joel. In regards to, find clients that are willing or able to pay for those type of services down here. So I made a decision a couple weeks ago that I'm going to start actually looking for a real job. I've resisted this because I'm an entrepreneur by spirit. My first business was Touch of Sunshine, which was a flower business, which I did for over 20 years of my life. Then I built Flava Coffee House in 2003. And I created LadyFlavaNews in 2007. And so I'm an entrepreneur, just naturally. My daddy told me, you don't like working for other people, and I don't. And I've been really blessed that I've fallen into things that allowed me to make money, and I really have not had to look, or I haven't, applied really for work since about 2000 or whatever, I was thinking about that as I go through this process. It's really interesting writing out a resume for what it is that I do, and who I am, and so much of it is based around being an entrepreneur myself, my skill set. So I decided I'm going to get a job, and this job is to pay for Flava's Lounge. So during this process of all of this happening, with, having an owner of a venue really interested in working with me to do Flava's Lounge there, I started thinking, you know what, I wonder if God blocked this. Because there are things that are not necessarily good for this particular location. And one of them is it does not have an elevator, and it's on a second floor. And so you have to walk the stairs. And not everybody's able to walk the stairs. And I have some friends, that are, in motor chairs and things like that. And they wouldn't be able to attend. Good morning, Marquise, or Marcus, I'm sorry. And so I started wondering, maybe it wasn't meant for me to do Flava's Lounge at this location. Then during the process, I was presented with a possibility of another venue to look at in regards to Flava's Lounge. And so that's something that I'm looking at now. I have not canceled the first venue. I haven't. The whole goal still is to work towards getting the money together for that. And it may not take place in that particular location, but I still want to have money because it's really important to me to have a financial foundation to work from. It's really important to me that artists get paid. So at Flava's Lounge, I'm not asking you to be a part of something and do it for free. I'm not. The whole goal is to pay you. In the beginning, because it's going to be new, of course, the pay is going to be pretty comparable to what the Vegas entertainers are making right now. And the goal is, the more money that comes in, the more revenue. If we're in a position where we can get sponsors or whatever, then you guys will get paid more. And so, this is something that I've been thinking about a long time, and it's really, really important to me to put together something really quality in a location that will work for the entertainers that are going to be performing, to the people that will be attending, and to build a win-win with the owner of the venue, or the manager of the venue. And so that's really important to me, that all of those things come together. And another thing that I've realized is that here in Vegas, that people don't necessarily like to build together. So the people who talk about Flava's Lounge the most with me are people that don't live in Vegas. And my business partners from Jay-Z Cage back in Seattle, my brother Alvin back in Seattle, to Lamont Carey out in Washington, D.C., to Mark, my business partner who's here in Vegas. They're the ones that I talk the most and believe in it the most. My business partner and colleague, Lillian Rice, would love the music. She believes in Flava's Lounge also. And so I'm really, really blessed with that. But it seems that down here in Vegas, a lot of things take place where it's everybody's, looking out for themselves, and just watching to see what somebody else is doing, and then and that. And so anyway, it's been kind of drilled in my head since I've been here that people don't want to hear you talk, they want to see you do. And I guess I believe that. I understand that. It's kind of show and prove, right? And I plan on doing that. So when you see me post, I'm still working on keeping my brand together and keeping it out there who I am, from supporting independent music to now supporting great Vegas entertainment. I'm trying to show my face more and getting out there so that people see me out and about and recognize hopefully that I'm a part of the industry. I'm not just a fan. So when I go to a show, I am not attending like a fan. It's really hard for me to sit back and not have my cell phone out taking pictures or videos or whatever. It's really hard. I'm looking at so much when I'm out and about, to the setup of the venue, to the way that the bands are laid out, to how the band members look and how they're dressed, the cosmetics of the venue, because I look at the pictures afterwards and I notice things that that are I can't, the word is at the tip of my tongue and it's not coming out, but where there needs to be some repairs made, whether it's painting or whatever. You can see these in the pictures, and so I think about that also. I think about song choices, what the entertainers' faces, their facial expressions look like. I look at so much more than the average person going to a show. I'm watching how the crowd reacts. Do they look bored or are they engaged, and stuff. And so I've been very, very blessed to go to some great shows this past weekend, out to Superstars of Soul out there in Henderson at Anthem, Independence Hall, Freedom Hall's Theater. That was a great production put on by Pete Peterkin. Went to the Queens of Soul out at the M. It was a very impressive show. I have some criticisms about it, but it was a very, very impressive show, and it was concert style, and that place was packed. So that was a great experience to go to. Been supporting Bobby Rose and his friends, down at the Eclipse. Went and saw Rhythm Nation. I don't see them often, so it was great to see Rhythm Nation this weekend. But I'm trying to show my face, and keep the brand part, going as I'm working towards, really making Flava's Lounge become a reality. I thought that I would have it going by October, but again, I'm now beginning to believe that God threw up a block, for it to not take place the way that I originally thought it would take place, and that I need to be patient, and I need to just keep working on what I need to do. And maybe I jumped the gun, I don't know. But it was exciting, and it got my juices flowing, in putting Flava's Lounge together. And So I don't feel bad for any of it. I don't. It got people, excited here and across the United States. I've got some great packages that have been submitted by artists, especially artists from out of state, that are interested in coming to Vegas to perform. And so that's really exciting that there are people who want to come here and perform. And so, I'm working towards that. But yeah, this is going to be interesting, looking for a job. And kind of funny, I don't want a full-time job. And I don't really want a job I don't want to do. And then I don't want a job that I really, really fall in love with, because I want to be able to walk away from it. I know that's not really a good thing, right? But, I'm working with some people. They're sending me some, some jobs to look at and this and that. And so that's going to be interesting if Lady Flava ends up getting a job, what kind of job that's going to look like. But, hey, I'm trying to build a dream, right? And at this point, the only thing stopping the dream is money. And I live my wage. I don't live a fancy life, I don't live a fancy life at all. I drive a hoopty. Her name's Poopsie. So I don't drive a fancy car or any of that, because I don't have a car note. My car insurance is affordable. I don't want to extend myself out paying bills that, that takes away from me building my dream, and right now everything that goes beyond covering my living expenses needs to go to Flava's Lounge. Good morning, Kua. Good morning, Aid. So I love artists. I live, breathe, sleep, plotting and planning how I can support creative souls better, and it's going to happen. I've been a supporter of creative souls for a long time. It's not going away. It's kind of like what you guys must think and feel being artists and entertainers, is it's who you are, it's your life. Well, that's the same for me. And so everything that I do is about, supporting creative souls. Kua is an amazing, amazing artist. And I actually have a piece of his that's in my office here in Vegas. I'm so happy that it came with me, Kua, to Vegas. Amazing, amazing visual talent. So, Promise Marks is an amazing singer-songwriter. And now she's an actress. She's going to be the feature film featuring her story that she created along with Miss Michelle. That's going to be featured in the 2019 Black Film Festival. So you got to check out Promise Marks. So anyway, this is who I am. This is what I do. It's not easy. Trust and believe. It's not easy being me. I have somebody here in Vegas that has belittled me as being Lady Flava, has hurt me terribly in who I am as Lady Flava, and it just kind of floors me. Not really understanding why this person treats me the way that they do when it comes to that. But it's a reality, and I take it as a good learning experience, that people aren't always going to get me as Lady Flava, and why I do what I do, or see me in a good light or whatever. And so, I take it as a good experience of what I went through. And, I'm not counting this person out. I believe that this person serves a purpose in my life, so, it's just, I'm learning at this age. I'm at a good point in my life that everything that I experience are learning experiences, and even if they're not good, even if they cause me to get emotional and cry, they're worth the lesson. I think that I lived a very comfortable life back in Seattle, and I was around people that were my comfort zone. It's like when you're at home, right? You kind of choose the people that just works for you in your life. At least I hope that's the way it is for people. and the people that were in my world worked for me back in Seattle. So I moved it to Vegas and have been introduced to some harsher personalities than I've ever experienced in my life. But I value those experiences because, I needed to learn those things about people, and I need to learn to toughen up. I can be an alpha female. I can be very strong and opinionated. When I speak about things, it's not that I'm speaking out the side of my neck. It's from my life experiences. It's from what I've learned, just being a seasoned woman, to what I've learned from, my work experience in the industry, or even just regular jobs. Regular jobs can bring you great, great skills when you want to be a part of an industry like the arts and entertainment. So, of course, it's my opinion, and everybody can come from different perspectives about something. But so when I speak, it's from my experience, my knowledge, what I know, and I've worked with some great people in this industry, it started out in the literary, industry, to growing into the music, to, working with engineers and producers and getting in the studio and seeing that process of how music comes together, working with critics and reviewers of music and books, working with coaches, and just different people throughout my life that have helped me understand, arts and entertainment, the quality of sounds, of arrangements of music, the structures of sentences when it comes to literature, how to build a story so you grab people's attention to bring them in. Good morning, Karan. So I've been blessed, to have people in my life who've taught me, the things that I have learned. And I continue to learn. Every day I watch motivational videos or videos that help me learn something that I don't know. One of the things that I listened to yesterday by a new speaker, and I'm drawing a blank as to what the person's name was, but they said there is the story, and then there's your perspective of the story. And I thought, what an interesting statement. It made me really think, because it kind of comes down to, how we can all hear something, or we can watch something on the TV, or we can look at something or whatever, and we could all walk away with a different perspective of that experience. And that's really interesting to me, and I think that's something to really think about when we interact with people, is that even though we may hear and experience the same thing, we come from different perspectives. And so we may not necessarily agree, upon what that sounded like, what that looked like, that whole experience. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, Gichi. I hope I said that correctly. So, if there's any questions you guys want to ask me, feel free to put it in the chat there. And I'll let you know if I don't want to answer it. But I'm pretty open this morning to answering questions. But, I hope that, when I do these videos, you guys get me a little bit more, and why I do what it is that I do. I cannot imagine a day without art. I can't imagine it. What if music didn't exist? What if colors and textures didn't exist? What if TVs and movies and visuals did not exist? Life would be pretty boring, right? So one of the reasons why I, am, this person called Lady Flava, the artist cheerleader, is because there's some great talents out there. Here in Vegas, back home in Seattle, across the United States, around the world. And I've been blessed to be connected to people, locally, nationally, and globally. I've been very, very blessed as Lady Flava in this connection. And so it's just like my boy Karan, amazing drummer. I think one day when I have the opportunity, I want to sit down and interview Karan, because he's worked on some things that people don't even really know that he has worked on. And it was so interesting when I was talking to an artist that I know from LA who now lives out in Connecticut or something like that. And she's like, I know somebody who's a musician in Vegas, and she's like, he's bad, and he worked on this project and that project, and it turned out to be Karan. What a small world, right? What a small world. So, you know, you just don't know. It's just like last night with Michael Pollard, you know. I got Michael Pollard's CD. Everybody needs to check it out, Plethora. Well, Michael Pollard is an independent artist that I started playing on the radio. I think even before he moved to Vegas. I think he was living somewhere else. And I started playing him on the radio. He is one of the baddest keyboard players and piano players I have ever experienced in my life. And I've never seen anybody or heard anybody play like Michael Pollard does. He's got a very eclectic style. Good morning, Kua. He's got a very eclectic style. He plays some indigenous sounds in his music. And he's just a great person. I love him to death. And so it's so exciting for me to be in Vegas and experience him in person. Karan was playing the drums so hard the other night with Rhythm Nation. I watched Karan the whole time that I was there because he was so into it. And that's what's exciting to me, is seeing entertainers that are so into what they're doing and so passionate. So I could feel Karan when he was playing. His tongue was out of his mouth. He was flipping those sticks and everything. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe. I'm like, and I've been seeing him play for a year, but because of where I was angled at in sitting, I could see him directly playing, and it was so dang excited. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Ivana. So Ivana Christie, amazing independent artist. She has original music, and she's starting to blend her original music, especially I Got Your Back, into her shows. She just finished doing an Aretha Franklin salute a few weeks back. I unfortunately didn't visually get to see it because I was the ticket person and selling her merchandise. So I was outside the door, but I could hear it. The girl is bad. Like, nobody does it like Ivana Christie. Like, hands down, nobody does it like Ivana Christie. You know, she has got one of the best stage presence, whether she was doing her salute to Aretha Franklin show or whether she's just doing a lounge type show, if she's singing I Got Your Back, whatever, if she's getting on the mic, you know, at somebody else's show. Ivana's got one of the best stage presence out of a female entertainer that I've experienced, period. You know, so, you know, I'm blessed to, you know, to have had, you know, this experience of getting to know and experience great talents. That's why I'm Lady Flava. That's why I want to create Flava's Lounge. That's why I want to get back on the radio, because this is my passion. I love you guys. I love creative souls, you know, and there needs to be more platforms out there for them to be experienced. Don't sleep on original music. Don't sleep on independent artists. Don't sleep on them, you know. I'm so there when it comes to cover songs and classics I can sing along to, right? Bobby Rose needs to stay away from me with the mic, Ivana. He keeps walking by me, and I'm like, no, go to Lillian, let Lillian sing, because no. I did my one-time karaoke with Ivana Christie, and I sang Lou Rawls. So I'm an internet sensation somewhere, because there's a video floating around of me singing, which really you don't want to hear. It's horrible. So anyway, since I'm not talented, I want to, you know, I want to support those that are talented. You know, that's why I do what I do. You know, I've got some knowledge, I've got some skills, you know, that really is valuable in this industry. You know, and I'm going to leave my mark. I'm going to figure out how to leave my mark behind this hair, right? And if you love me, see, my hair is falling out. You might end up with a piece of hair on you if you're ever around me. So, anyway, you know, I do what I do. You know, if I'm out and about, I'm taking pictures and videos because I want you to just know that I'm out, you know, supporting these great talents where they are. Oh, did you see me dancing? I was dancing. I had to tell that man, don't dance salsa because I can't dance salsa. But one day if I find Ruben again, I'm going to have him teach me how to dance salsa. Oh, thank you so much, Diana. Girl, you've left your mark also. Diana Broomfield is a wonderful, wonderful supporter of independent music too, on the East Coast. So on the East Coast. So you need to connect with her. You're still doing your radio shows, right, Diana? On the East Coast. So check out Diana Broomfield if you're an independent artist and get with her and get her music. She is amazing. She's my sister radio station, you know, on that side of the country. So the Flava Groove, I kind of like that, Karan. What should we do with Flava Groove? I like the sound of that. So anyway, see, Diana's still doing her radio shows. So if you're an independent artist on here, Ivana, Promise Marks, who else has independent music that's on this live stream right now? Get with Diana. She supports, but it's got to be good. Don't send her no just not well produced. I was going to say something else. I don't curse, but you know, something about Vegas, I say words from time to time, and I need to catch myself because that is so not me. But anyway, Diana is an amazing supporter of you know, independent music. So please, you know, get with her and support her in what she does. I like that Flava Groove. Okay, come on, I'm writing it down right now, so we'll have to talk about this, what we could do with Flava's Groove. So anyway, but Flava's Lounge is going to still take place. I'm still working on it, you know. I'm getting me a job so that I can pay for Flava's Lounge. I just had to break down and just do it since I haven't been getting work through my on-call job. And all of the things, you know, with that. So, Flava's getting a job. Trust and believe, I'm not really happy about it. So, I need to pray about this and maybe get excited, you know, so that maybe the right job will just land in my lap, you know, to pay to get Flava's Lounge started. Because, again, everything takes money. And the way things are going right now, I'm not making the money I need, you know, to get it going. But in the process, you know, other opportunities for venues are being presented to me. So I may have, you know, different places to, consider for the home of Flava's Lounge. Be an agent. Okay, we'll talk about that, Karan. Okay, we'll talk. If I become an agent, I'm gonna find you some gigs. You're bad. You're bad. But you know, we need to talk about that, Karan. So anyway, if there's anything that I can do to help you with your artist package, you know, let me know, because I can create an affordable, you know, package, you know, to put together for you, whether it comes to creating a bio or a fact sheet, a one sheet, EPK, you know, I can definitely help you with that. So you can get at me at LadyFlavaNews@gmail.com. I have a Lady Flava page here on Facebook. You can go over there and send me a message if you're interested in you know, talking to me about artist package. And, you know, I want us to all think about how we can step into 2019 better, stronger, with better tools to work with, you know, in doing what it is that we do. I'm looking at my own self, you know, and, you know, what do I need to do to step up my game? You know, because I'm ready to work. I'm ready for Flava's Lounge right now. Trust and believe, I've got the talents to hit the stage. I got the musicians to hit the stage. and all of that. I just need to make sure I have that money because you guys deserve to get paid, you know? You guys deserve to get paid, and that's really, really a big deal to me, is that the musicians and entertainers get paid when they come to Flava's Lounge. So, and I hope that once I get Flava's Lounge started, you guys are going to support me from near and far. You know, I really hope that, because you guys are my passion. You know, God put me here to support creative souls. My daddy told me that. I know that I say this all the time, but he told me, sincerely, my daddy told me. I wish I could have recorded him when he said it. But he said, Susan, your ministry is with artists. He said, it's not going to be easy, but it's your calling. And I take that really, really serious. You know, I'm really blessed. See, I got my Black Stacks t-shirt on. Black Stacks is my foundation in working with artists. Let me tell you, I have learned so much in working with Black Stacks, you know, and I know people would sit there and say, what, Flava works with hip-hop? Not a whole lot of hip-hop, but I work with Black Stacks, and I do support quality hip-hop. In my mind, quality hip-hop is conscious hip-hop. I don't like a whole lot of cursing. You know, I don't like anything that's belittling people, women, using the N-word. I don't like that type of stuff. I don't, you know. But I love something with a good storyline, a good cadence, something that's got a good groove that makes you want to move and all of that. And that's what Black Stacks brought into my world, you know. But I support all music, you know. I do. I support all music. And so out here in Vegas, I'm out supporting great entertainment. And I really want to support some original music, though. I'm telling you, I love y'all that sing cover songs and play cover songs and the classics. I love it. But when Ivana Christie sings I Got Your Back, she's jamming. And that's her own song, you know? So, oh, Diana, you had them on your show, didn't you? Yeah, Black Stacks. So anyway, I love original music. Original music to me is exciting because it's something that came from that artist's creativity, their soul, you know? And it's something new, and it's something that's different, and it's exciting, you know? So I heard some original music at the grand opening for the 172 Club at the Rio. And I know that some people weren't into that music. I enjoyed it. To me, it was really refreshing, and I kind of felt bad that people weren't really paying attention to the artists that were singing up on the stage. But I really enjoyed it. It was refreshing to me to hear something that I didn't know, you know? I like going places I've never been. I like hearing things that I've not ever heard, you know? You know, that's what's exciting to me about art, is that you get to experience something new if you're willing to step outside the box of your comfort zone, you know, and you get to experience something new, something creatively new, if you're willing to do that. Plethora, it's exciting. You will not hear anything like Plethora from anybody else. It is truly, truly, you know, something that came from Michael Pollard. And I'm really blessed to have experienced even this music before this project came out. Yeah, no more Brick House. No more Brick House, Karan. Like, Brick House came out when I was in junior high. I'm telling my age, huh? And you know, it serves its purpose, right? Okay, Karan, now you know I'm telling the truth, that some of the groups and bands out here sing the same songs. So I'm now starting to say, okay, who sings that song the best? There's so much more music out there than what's being performed here in Vegas. There's way more music out there than what's being performed in Vegas. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. But hey, Karan, as long as you're banging the drums and you're making Brick House sound good, that's all that matters, right? So anyway, my passion is artists. My passion is creative souls. I especially love original art, and I want to surround myself with original art. So when I get this money going and I can really set up my office the way that I want it set up, you'll see original art on the wall. And you know, I'm going to get out there and experience some things in the artistry of Las Vegas, Nevada that I don't experience right now. You know, I need to broaden my horizons and experience new and different things here in Vegas, because I know there's so much more to Vegas than what I've experienced so far, and that's the plan. So anyway, if anybody has any questions, you can throw it up. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much. How long have I talked? Oh gosh, I've talked an hour. I know I'm a talker. So anyway, Lady Flava signing off. And, you know, support me like I support you guys, okay? I've got a dream just like you do. And my dream includes supporting great, great entertainment. Good morning, Sean Marie. We go way back. Sean Marie and I, we go way, way back. When I had my coffee house, huh? So, anyway, I appreciate all of you guys, you know, tuning in when I do these live streams and supporting who I am all these years, because many of you have been around me, you know, on social media for many, many years, even way before the days of Facebook. We go back to MySpace days, right? You know, some of us go way back. So that's the exciting thing about social media, right? Is that some of us have been connected for a very, very long time. You know, but there's some great people out there doing great things that support great entertainment. There are more people, you know, like Diana is different than I am, but we do similar things, you know. So you just need to find those people that will support who it is and what you do. You got to get creative, you know, and there are people out there, and just like, you know, there are people out there supporting what, you know, the great talents of social media are doing. We need to, you know, really step out of our comfort zones and check out some new talents. You know, there's some great art being created. My friend Kua, amazing talent out of Dallas, Texas. I wish that I don't feel like getting up and walking into my office because I want to show you a piece of his art. I got an ironing board and everything set up in there. Okay, I'm gonna go walk in my office. So you can see a piece of art by Kua. I'm gonna pick it up. Can you see it? I'm taking it out into the living room. Anyway, this is an amazing piece of art by Kua. So you need to check him out on Facebook or Instagram. He put up an awesome piece on Instagram last night, so you need to check it out. So it's not just music talents that I support. I support a variety of talents. And my dream for Flava's Lounge is not to just do music there, but I would love to do album releases. I would love to do book signings and readings. I would love to do art shows. Good morning, Mickey. So I want to do more than just music. So Flava's Lounge is what I really want to do, is create a community of people, from creative souls to those that love the arts, to be able to come together and show real true appreciation and support and respect for art. And when I say art, that's a very broad word that I don't think that people really use, you know, that word well. You know, creativity it goes beyond music, it goes beyond books, it goes beyond visuals. You know, I have a chef friend, Chef Amadeus. He goes between Seattle and Florida and in between everywhere else. But, you know, he creates these beautiful dishes of yummy food, right? That's an art. you know, to create food and put it together, and the taste and the textures and everything. That's an art. So I support any type of art as long as I love it, you know. And the bad thing and the honest thing is I am not going to support something that I don't like. That's just the bottom line. You know, if you tag me in something and I don't respond, there's a really good chance I don't like it, and it's better for me to not respond. Now, if somebody comes to me privately and asks me what I think about their art, I'm going to give an honest opinion, and I hope that you will accept and respect that. But if I don't like something, I'm not going to generally say anything, and that could be your answer of what I think about it, is just not having a response. So isn't that exciting, Kua? That I came to Vegas with a piece of your art. Can you see it? This is Kua. Awesome. Awesome. So anyway, it's all about creative souls, and it doesn't matter what the genre is or what the art form is. I love creative souls. So let's support them. They deserve it. There's some great talents out there. I still have it, Kua. I'm blessed with it, my friend. Thank you so much. You are always with me. I think about you all the time, you and your wife. I love you guys. So anyway, if you're in Vegas, get out and support great entertainment. Check out some of the indie music here in Vegas. If you're not in Vegas, get out and support the talents of your communities. As we come to the holiday season, think about supporting an entertainer, artist who has a product that you can buy for a holiday gift. Think about supporting a small business owner. You know, mom and pop stores still exist. And, you know, if you know any mom and pops, you know, get out and support them. They really are part of the foundation of community in our areas, in our communities, in our regions, you know. It's not all about, you know, the big names. You know, the thing is that when it comes to independent artists, when it comes to these Vegas entertainers on the level that I support, they'll know your name. They'll remember your face if you come out and support them. If you buy their product, they'll say thank you. They'll get to know you. They'll start following you on social media, you know, and become your fan too. You know, so think about supporting. Kua's wife is an amazing crafter. She does amazing crochet work. Like, I didn't know you could make something like his wife makes, you know. So there's crafters out there. There's music, there's paintings, there's jewelry. My friend Barbara Barry, she makes beautiful jewelry, you know. So there are people right here on social media that you can get your holiday gifts from. So think about that too. And I want to encourage you guys that have product that could potentially be sold as a holiday gift, you know, start promoting that. Let people know who you are. You know, don't be shy about it. I know it might seem like, oh, people aren't paying attention, but if you don't let them know who you are, they're not going to know about you, right? I wish that I could, you know, do these videos every day and wave my leopard pom-pom, you know, for all of you guys on a regular basis. Maybe that's something to consider, right? Is if you've got something, you know, that you want promoted and will get behind it, you know, maybe we need to connect and I can do a promo video talking about what you do. I don't know, whatever. Let's brainstorm. Let's step outside of our comfort zone and how we're doing this. You know, sometimes we get stuck in doing things, you know, the same way over and over and over. And maybe it's really not working and it's time to step outside the box. I also want to encourage you to maybe find some people that you can build with, you know, because there are people that you really honestly can learn to respect and work with and come together and do some great work together and to build together. So anyway, I went a little bit over an hour, but thank you again so much for tuning in to my live streams. I hope I make sense to you guys. I want you to get to know me. You know, I am not perfect. I am a child of God, and my faith is very, very strong. And so everything that I do, I pray before I do it, and I just kind of help God guide me in who I am and what I do. So I take my faith very, very seriously, and I try really hard to be a good person. I try really hard to be supportive to people, and I also try to understand that there are certain people I don't work well with and that don't work well with me, you know? And that's okay when people don't, you know, connect well. That's okay. There's still a way of being respectful, and there's a way of just walking away with peace. You don't have to create drama, you know? And I'm just going to end on this note. As this year comes to an end, I want you to think about really forgiving people who have hurt you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to their face and say that I forgive you, you know? And it doesn't even necessarily mean that you have to go to somebody and say, please forgive me. But I think that there's a way that we can forgive within our hearts and in our souls and in our prayers. And then let go of it. We got to let go of it, you know, and move on. Whether that means that you can reconnect and stay connected, or if it means that you need to separate from some people. But let it go. Don't carry it on into 2019. 2019 is going to be a year that we can really take things to another level. This past year was a great year for me. It was a year of growth. It wasn't always easy for me. I experienced some things that I didn't want to experience. I experienced some things that hurt me to my soul and made me cry, you know? But it's making me stronger. And it's making me, you know, become a better person going through the experiences that I've gone through. So this has been a great year, you know? I'm getting, you know, recognized as Lady Flava as I'm out and about, and that's a good thing. I don't necessarily like the spotlight on me, but I recognize that I need to be a seen and known person for who I am and what I'm doing and what I want to do in Vegas. So I recognize that I have to be out and about. So, you know, let go of the mess. Let go of the mess. Don't take it into 2019 with you. It serves no purpose, especially if you're working on a goal and a dream. It serves no purpose. So again, I'm going to sign out. Have a great Tuesday, and keep doing you, but keep getting better at being you. All right, God bless.